Did we just make a really dumb mistake?
Me, like, I am so stupid. Oh, that is a lot of water. I mean, this is a bit of a nightmare.
We're Sally, Adam, and the baby captain, and we just bought a 32 feet sailboat for $4,000 US. And did I mention that we have no idea how to actually sail? However, a really cheap old boat might not be that cheap after all, because we have a lot to do here. The boat is leaking, the wood is rotten, it's basically falling apart, we got disgusting blue curtains, and it's a lot. And it's gonna cost a lot as well, and we have barely no electronics. So I guess where we are at now is this 51-year-old boat really worth saving, or did we just make a really dumb mistake?
So I think what we are getting at is just the amount of money we would need to spend in order to get this boat, well, to where we want it to be. It would be a lot cheaper to just buy a better boat that is already in that condition. I mean, that would be a lot cheaper because boats here in Denmark are generally kind of cheap. But of course, we didn't do that, and I mean, there are a few reasons why. And of course, one of the reasons is just, well, money. I mean, the amount of money we had in cash was enough for this boat and not a, well, better boat.
I guess we could have been saving for like maybe a year, bought a better boat, but hey, then it'll take another year for us to start sailing. So that, no.
Yeah, I mean, we were like, yeah, we have to do it now. This is the boat we could get. And of course, another part of the money aspect is like, because we don't know how to sail or know anything about boats. So if we completely mess this up and just destroy this boat, basically, we don't lose that much money. But of course, another big reason is that we want to learn both sailing, but also just everything about boats and about, I guess, renovating boats and keeping a boat in order. Because if we one day are going to buy a nicer and bigger boat, these kind of things would be nice to know. And what better way to learn than to just do it? Have a crappy old boat that needs a lot of work. Then we can make all the mistakes here and hopefully learn a lot. And of course, if we do manage to renovate this boat as we plan to do, well, this winter when we haul out, come spring, we're gonna have a really nice boat. And as Sally mentioned, we do have just loads of problems to, well, take care of here on this boat. And we are just slowly starting to just tackle some of them. But mostly right now we are just focused on sailing and learning how to sail, so just getting out on the water as much as possible. But these days it is really windy here in Denmark. It's, well, at least too much for us to go out. So we're gonna do some boat work and focus a bit more, I guess, on the planning side, because the idea is to do some little bits and pieces now when we have days like this, and then once we haul out for the winter, we're just gonna go deep and renovate a whole lot. But one example is that, like, we just have no navigation, electronics, nothing like that. You can see here there's a big hole here. I guess there was probably a chart plotter here and some other instruments here. I think the only thing we're able to see right now on this boat is the RPMs the engine is doing. We got nothing else. So like, that's one example of some things that we need to fix and which might not be that cheap. And in one of our previous videos, we kind of talked a bit more about, I guess, the plans, what we want to do, both with the boat and where we want to go. And just very briefly, we want to go next spring, sail this boat down through the channels of Europe and out into the Mediterranean and sail around the Mediterranean for the summer. So of course we would need to, I guess, refit this boat to be able to handle a trip like that, where we would be living on the boat for months. So of course one thing we're thinking about is just the whole layout of the boat, because now since we've gotten it, we're also starting to just figure out how we use the space. And do excuse the mess, traveling with a baby is just insane. But normally there's a table here, I mean it's just below us right now, but we've kind of figured out that we mainly just use this couch area, well, as a big couch, so we never have the table up here. And this other bed couch over here, we just never use it.
So basically we really want to clean this area up a bit. Right now there's like so many like smaller mattresses and they aren't really that nice. So we wanna get rid of those and make one big one instead. And more like cushioning, like on both sides here, so that we have this big space to hang out. So yeah, we're gonna make that a lot nicer and a lot more homey. So instead of like having a couch here, and also over here, which is a lot of couch space that we don't think we need. So instead we want to make it like we have a table here in the middle here, so that you can like sit like this next to each other.
Yeah, so probably like make a cut like through the middle of this bed, so you can be seated as Sally on this side and on that side, so we are able to, well, eat inside if we want to.
Yeah.
But we don't need this much table space, and it's really annoying with the big table here that you don't use, especially with this guy. We will also need to do a lot of electrical work, both because I think a lot of this is pretty old and could probably use some new wires and will just get updated, but also because we want to add a lot of new stuff, and especially we want to add probably quite a lot of solar panels if we are going to stay on the boat for months. You know, we want to be able to charge our computers, cameras, all of those kind of things. And right now we have absolutely no clue about anything related to electronics, especially electronics on a boat. So here we have a lot to learn, but it will be a pretty good learning process, is what we're thinking. And again, hopefully in a few months, once we're through it, we're gonna have quite a bit of better understanding of how electronics works on a boat. But it is time to do some small boat projects now. But it is just crazy windy, and I want to get started, well, outside, down in the engine room. But while it's so windy, I don't want to do it. So I'm gonna come back a little bit later once the wind has settled down. I'm back on the boat again, and it is much calmer today, so it's perfect to get some work done here on the boat. Sally and the baby captain, they're back at the house because they're like preparing and packing, because tomorrow we're gonna go on, well, I think it will be our like biggest trip yet. Not in terms of distance, but I guess in time. So that will be in the next video that's coming after this one. We're gonna try and spend like, I don't know, 3 days just hanging out on the boat, sailing around a bit, of course, and visiting some pretty cool places. And I actually also got to thinking of like another reason why buying this crabby old boat that needs a lot of work, while it's worth it at least to us, or just like another reason why it hopefully will be worth it. And it's these YouTube videos. I mean, we do earn just a little bit of money from making these videos. It's not a lot, and well, if you're interested, I could like make a bigger breakdown once at least we get a few more sailing videos down our belt. But I mean, if these videos can at least help cover some of the cost that, well, we will have renovating this boat, that's pretty great. Also, what happens when you have a YouTube profile like this? Perhaps brands would want to work with us, like maybe we can use some of their products renovating this boat, especially if we were going to buy them anyway. Maybe they want to sponsor a video and, you know, we talk about their products or something like that. And that way we'll be able to, well, refit it cheaper and hopefully get some cool products. It's not that we have anything lined up or anything, but, you know, of course, we are thinking about this. And really, it's just to be totally upfront with you and transparent, and we will. And I mean, I really want to talk about like I guess the financial aspects, well, throughout making all of these videos, especially because I just think it's very interesting, and not that many other like people, especially on YouTube, talk about this. You know, it's very hush hush how much money you make on YouTube and all the brand deals and all of that. But yeah, I mean, just let me know in the comments if like you kind of interested in, I guess, that aspect of it. Maybe you don't care at all and you just want to see us go sailing and do boat work. Either way, it's totally fine. But back to boat work, and the first thing we're going to tackle is I want to replace the impeller. So a few videos ago, I tried doing this and I failed. I could not replace it because for some reason on this engine here, the impeller location is in such a weird spot that it's like very hard to get to. And I just didn't really have a lot of tools, so I could remove other stuff to get better access. But I have better tools, and now I'm ready to try my hands at replacing that impeller again. So let's just crack on with it. We are in now. I think on probably most sailboats you will find the impeller, guess somewhere over here, you know, like on the front here, with pretty easy access to the impeller. But well, not on this boat. in the last video where I tried to replace it, I couldn't really even find it at all. Took me a while, but I found it, and basically it's kind of somewhere in behind all of this. So it's gonna be really difficult to get to. But what I'm gonna try to do first is remove this filter or whatever this is, and hopefully that should give us a little bit better access. And like, the reason I didn't try and remove that filter the last time was I just simply didn't have the right tools to, well, get in there and remove a lot of, well, do a lot of the work that needs to be done. But we have the proper tools now, at least some of it, so I should be able to get into it. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Pretty easy when you have the right tools. Okay, at least now we should be able to see the impeller. Just see if we can get it to focus. There it is. That little round thing. Still looks like this, thinking that's like an oil filter or something, that is in the way. I mean, all these hoses are also pretty annoying, but we'll see. So at least that was the oil filter. I was right about that. Honestly, I don't know how this is supposed to look or how often I'm supposed to clean it. I'm gonna clean just at least the dirt. And I will just check if I do have a spare lying around, then I'll just replace it now. Or when I'm done with the impeller. And if not, at least now I know where it is and can easily do it. So then I'll just order one and get that done soon. Okay, so this is at least, I guess, the best access to the impeller that we have had yet. So honestly, now it's mostly these hoses here that are in the way. And I mean, I have no idea if it's okay to just remove them, at least temporarily. This one here would be pretty easy to get out of the way. This one, the blue one, I don't want to touch that. That looks more permanent. And then there's a big one here. Like, I guess my problem is I don't really know what any of them do. So like, if I remove them, just water or oil or something just spill everywhere. Like, I have no clue. Yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a nightmare. But I mean, I'm learning, so gotta remember that. Okay, so I just tried loosening this one, and it indeed has something to do with oil. I could at least see some oil and smell it. But I just loosened it a little bit, and then I was able to move it out of the way, so then I don't have to take it off completely. Then there's the big black one. I just kind of tried, I guess, to follow it, and it does actually go, I guess, onto the where the impeller is there. Like, the water comes in. Guessing it'll go through the water filter first, and then it'll go down here, and then I guess up through that, or maybe it's the other way around. I'm not sure. Oh well, and I did close the, well, I guess the through holes. Okay, so hopefully no new water should be coming in. But of course there could be water in the system that could run out, I guess. Oh, and I guess the stick to check this oil level is basically right next to, well, the impeller. So again, also a very impractical location for that part. So I'm thinking I'll just check the oil level now while I'm actually working right there. So that looks pretty good. And there's the last one. So I got it off, and well, now we have water coming out. Not really stopping. Oh wait, I can see it leaking from there, but oh, there's a lot of water. Okay, that got a little too hectic, I think. The water just kept coming, and I wasn't really sure if it was supposed to do that or not, but I figured it out, and I turned this valve because that, I guess, stops the water from going there, and from there it goes to the impeller. So that works. Now we just have a lot of water in the bilge. but we can manage. Right, so first step here, I'll just clean this guy off completely, and then I will remove the old impeller, put in the new one, then put everything back where it came from, hopefully. Okay, so I'm just, well, cleaning this off, and I guess this is the seal or whatever you call it. And I mean, I think, yeah, it looks ready to be changed. So we got it. We got it out. It doesn't look terrible. It's not in like really bad condition or destroyed or anything like that. So I'm gonna keep this around as like a backup to the backup in case anything goes wrong. But yeah, time to pop the new one back in. Right, I actually just struggled a little bit trying to put it back in, but perhaps that was a good thing, because then I just remembered a couple of things. First, I just cleaned, I guess, the inside of the housing just with a rag. And second, that I probably should do some kind of grease, marine grease, on the impeller before putting it back in. So I'll grease it up and then I'll try again. Me, like, I am so stupid. There it is. So I just pulled out the new, well, filter thing, and somehow I managed to just rip it. This is the only one I have right here. So I guess it's better to put on the old one, even though I just said that it's pretty horrible, but at least it's whole. So I'm gonna put this back on, and I'm gonna order some new impellers anyway, and some new filters with that, hopefully. And then I'm gonna have to at least come down and replace this one pretty soon. Oh my god. But just what an absolute idiot I am. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I have been at it for hours now. And then here at the finish line, I rip the gasket somehow. I mean, come on. But hey, let's look on the bright side. I get to do this again very soon as I get a new one of these home, which just means more practice for me working on the engine. But yeah, now I just need to put everything back together as it was. Hopefully I can remember. I guess if I can't remember, then I can just look back at these videos and see how everything looked before. Alright, now that we got all the hoses and everything back on, and of course the face plate for the impeller, then I'll just open this one again, because I guess that will allow the water through, as we saw, and then we'll see if there are any leaks. I mean, so far so good. Right, I think that is it. Everything is back where it's supposed to be, and everything that's open, well, everything that needs to be open is open, and vice versa. So I think the only thing that's left to do now is to, well, just clean up all of my tools and the mess, turn on the engine and just see if it runs, and I guess just check for leaks, mostly, especially around the impeller with the old paper gasket ring. But I guess before I do that, hopefully everything is fine, but just in case, I just need to reflect now. Pretty happy with this repair, I don't know, maintenance. The last time I tried to do this, I had to give up, which sucked, and now I, well, actually managed to do it. So again, I have no knowledge about boats or engines or anything, so yeah, feels pretty good. Right, so at least to me everything seemed normal, how it usually looks and sounds, and I couldn't see any leaks. And well, if anything, we're gonna know for real tomorrow as we go on our big trip. So is this boat just too far gone? Well, for us, no. For us, I think it's just what we need to learn how to sail, to get out there, to learn how to do things like this, do the repairs, and also learn what do we actually want and need in a boat. I mean, especially like when we get to do the refit, and after that, we'll get to live on the boat for extended periods, months, maybe half a year or something. So we will know what we want when we hopefully one day start to look for a bigger boat. I'm gonna finish up, close up everything, clean up, and then I'm gonna meet up with Sally and the baby captain. And then tomorrow we're going sailing. So remember to subscribe if you want to follow the journey of these idiots learning how to sail and fix up a boat.